I'm a red hot mama from my head to my feet. Sassy and brassy, so sexy and sweet. Oh, come a little closer, feel my heat. Oh, come on.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to My Menopause Radio. I'm your host, Dr. Mache Seibel, and I'm also the founder of My Menopause magazine, which you can find in the Apple newsstand. Today, we're going to talk with someone who is an outspoken woman on women's health, and she's also a wellness advocate and a menopause awareness expert, an author, and a speaker. And I'm sitting here holding her book. It's called Schmersky, The Pursuit of Hormone Happiness. Her name is Ellen Dolgen. We'll talk more about some of the things that Ellen is doing to increase menopause awareness, but for now, let's just jump right in and say welcome. And Ellen, it's very nice to have you.
I'm excited to be here with you. I love everything you're doing to help women. It's fabulous.
Some women would like to get a quick fix for their menopause symptoms, but you also don't have to tough it out. There's things you can do. So how do you start the conversation with women when you're talking about menopause?
Well, like you said, doctor, I mean, no one gets a hold the date notice for when perimenopause is going to arrive at their door. So it's really important to be prepared and to understand that perimenopause happens, often between the ages of 38 and 48. Every woman's different, but the symptoms can start coming and creeping up on you. The average age of menopause is 51. So once women realize this, then it's really important for them to understand, well, what are the potential symptoms? It's very important and powerful for a woman to understand what her body's going to go through, and then also to have the tools ready in case she needs to reach out and get help for perimenopause and menopause. Now, not everyone has difficulties. Some people breeze through this, but most of the women I talk to around the United States experience several, if not many, of the over 30 symptoms of perimenopause.
Only 30?
Over 30.
I thought there are a lot of symptoms. Wait, why don't you tell me some of the things that are the more common ones, and we'll talk about some of the ones that are the least common ones.
Sure. Well, I think a lot of my readers and the people who are involved on my website, ellendolgen.com, email me about being, first of all, sleepless. And it's not like Sleeping Beauty. I'm talking about sleepless and grumpy. Often they have memory loss.
They're not Sleeping Beauty, but they still have some of the seven dwarfs. They've got the
Exactly.
grumpy, and they've got...
Exactly.
Okay.
And so I would say sleeplessness, memory loss. Many women find that without even realizing it, all of a sudden they're a member of the Sisterhood of the Shrinking Pants. They've gained weight, and they're not happy about it. And then, of course, there's the more obvious symptoms, which are the hot flashes, the flushes, which, are more visual. And then there are the emotional symptoms, which are more like memory, like I said, memory lapses, also being kind of irritable, very snappy, just feeling like you're not in control of your own emotions.
A bit like PMS, isn't it?
Yes, it's worse than that. Actually, it's interesting, doctor. I just did I reached out to the men in the world and asked them what they felt about PMS versus menopause. Which one is more difficult for a man to understand? And they all said that actually the menopause was more difficult for them to understand because the PMS kind of comes and goes.
Right.
But if a woman doesn't really have a good menopause specialist and isn't getting the support she needs, their whole family is living often with symptoms of menopause that are quite difficult. So my goal is to try to reach everyone I can with free information and support.
Sounds wonderful. Well, you've been listening to My Menopause Radio, and I'm your host, Dr. Mache Seibel, also the founder of My Menopause magazine in the Apple newsstand. We have been talking to a very lively Ellen Dolgen. Thank you for spending time with us today, because it's been a very informative and very fun discussion. And I want to remind everyone it's better to stay well than to get well. So stay well, everyone.
So sexy and sweet.